Hello, my name is Isaiah Seret, and I'm a filmmaker from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'll be answering some questions for Canal 180 today. I started filmmaking at a young age and made some really terrible short films, and I had sort of pledged to myself that I would not go down the road of making shallow films. So I decided to drop out of film school and enroll in a separate program for Asian Comparative Studies and Buddhist Studies, and I actually ended up doing that for about 8 years in San Francisco. I decided I was now qualified to try and tell some of the stories I was interested in trying to tell. The Devinder Banhart film, it was actually motivated by this notion that everyone's sense of love is different, and for some it's a soft caress, and for other it's whips and chains. And I do feel like there is something complete about that story that we told, and that it is really about a loving, caring relationship, although depicted through these acts of S&M. Try and write stories that catch these people in transformational or introspective or somehow sort of key times in their lives. And I think there's always a bit of discovery in the process. And with Good Man, there's some things that I thought of and some things that Chad brought. I think at one point we were doing the kitchen scene, and he asked if it would be okay if his character said a little bit of a prayer before eating his grilled cheese, which I thought was actually really, really perfect and really just kind of reflected how deeply he was thinking about the character. And the great thing is, even though it was such a short amount of time, we're still not working with actors all the time, but actually great actors are able to build the characters in their downtime.
After all I've done for you.
So Canal 180 was asking about a little bit of my creative process and why I end up taking on such ambitious projects. And I think that started with my film for Edward Sharpe and Kisses Over Babylon. And somehow I always knew that when I had a chance to make a cool video for a cool band with a little bit of money, that I needed to really give it everything I had. And somehow that ambition was really met with a lot of ambition from Alex Ebert, the lead singer from Edward Sharpe. I think in terms of influences, I'd say that I'm definitely these days most inspired by Andrei Tarkovsky. He's a Russian filmmaker. He has a lot of what I love about filmmaking, and he's just a master of the medium in every way. I think narrative-wise for Kisses Over Babylon, we didn't really have one single reference, although we were looking at a bunch of westerns, and also just wanting to tell a kind of an emotional and spiritual journey for this lead singer to go on. It was my second video with Cults, and we developed a really nice rapport over our first video, which was kind of one of these big ideas, easy to describe and incredibly hard to achieve. I was really inspired to tell the story of a stuntman and his coach in this sort of mentor-mentee relationship, but then having the stuntman fall in love with the coach's daughter. It's kind of a classical American trope, was actually inspired largely by the physical location, which is a stunt training facility in the valley that I had been to previously. The real reason I wanted to tell the story was really, to have this relationship in which a person could lose all of their physical beauty and really still be loved. I do tend to work around lyrics. I really try to find some sort of symbols or take the lyrics as if they were dialogue or an opera, and build characters and parts for that. And with Devinder's video for Hildegard, it was really a great chance because it was a story that I already loved, and he had created it through the lyrics, and I really wanted to both tell it directly, and also to not sort of fall under the trap of just try to show what you're hearing. So to really let them sing through the dialogue and let Devinder become this kind of avant-garde narrator, and at the same time tell an emotional story of this woman's obsession with pop culture, and how ultimately that doesn't really pay off for her, but there's a tender melancholy to the piece that I was really happy to be able to be part of. I really wanted to tell this story of this vulnerable and sensitive gangster, but in this science fiction world, and again making it about this tender love affair between him and his boyfriend who is slowly being lost to this disease. And I think that because it was such a stylish world, and because there were so many opportunities for visual flair, it was incredibly important to have actors that are totally believable and grounded. So we actually really held out for Michael K. Williams. The band was really great in encouraging us to not rush it with some other actor, and fortunately he had just finished shooting Boardwalk Empire and was available to come right afterwards. MGMT was sort of a special opportunity for me to really be free to create a whole universe and story, and myself and my co-writer Mindy, who was also the stylist and wardrobe designer, we had the chance to really develop and build this world, and then bring all these other people into it, including my cinematographer Bradford Young, who was incredibly inspired by the story and the sets and the settings, and my production designer Jameen Asa, who was able to really take this world and the sort of New Jack concepts of drug dealing and help us bring that to life.